Hello and welcome to this video lecture about content marketing. We will talk about content marketing, but especially in comparison to traditional marketing. You might think of traditional marketing, or you might think you know what this will be about. You perhaps think that traditional marketing, that's marketing before the internet, but now we have a new kind of marketing. That's in itself is of course true, but that's not really the point that I want to bring out. We will focus on the word content, because if we focus on whether it was before or after internet, then before it would be newspapers, radio and so on, then we are talking about the medium of advertisement. That's not the point here. We're going to talk about the content, what the advertisement consists of. First of all, if we take a look at a couple of pictures, this is a quite regular ad. This is what I would say is traditional marketing, because you tell the customer about the product, you tell them why it's better or perhaps it's cheaper. You try to give reasons to buy this product. But the ad is focusing on the product. So one could say that the content of the ad is the product that you are actually advertising. If you look at this one, I don't really know what this is, but let's say this is either, it could be a Facebook post, it could be a YouTube video or something, where you have someone found out that a piece of Lego, or like a Lego character, their hands fit perfectly for certain cables to be cable holders. And this is shared as a tip. So content marketing could be, it's about giving the customer either entertainment, so something with humor perhaps, or knowledge. And it could be funny videos, tutorials, life hacks. This could, for instance, be seen as a life hack, like a small tip for everyday situations. And if you compare the two, then this one doesn't give you any entertainment. It doesn't give you any information, whereas this one does. This one does not focus on a product. This could be given by, let's say, an electronics company. And in order to attract their customers, they are giving out for free. They have a perhaps Instagram account, Facebook account, YouTube channel, Twitter, something where they share information, where they share tips. And if they are useful and funny enough, then you will start following them. It's a big difference between these two. Again, traditional marketing, normally you will be disturbed by traditional marketing. As in, if you're watching TV, rarely when there are ads, you go like, oh my God, this is such a great ad. You go and do something else, or you just sit through the commercials and wait for the program to continue. Same thing goes with radio. If there's commercial radio and you have ads, then it's a pain to listen through them. Newspapers, basically the same. Do you read all the ads in a newspaper? If it's perhaps a page or a couple of pages full of ads, you might just flip through them and not even look, because they are a disturbance to the content that you actually are there for, which are the newspaper articles, or the TV program, or the radio program. So in traditional marketing, the customer is disturbed while doing something else. On the other hand, in content marketing, the customer is attracted to the company that creates the content. And that is, as I said before, if you have something that's funny enough, interesting enough, something that people feel that they want to see, it doesn't make them disturbed. They actually perhaps even go looking for you. And traditional marketing, if you have an ad and there's something perhaps you don't like about it, it's very hard. You could perhaps write to the editorial of the newspaper, but if it's on TV, it's very hard to get your opinion across, because it's a monologue. It's a one-way traffic of information. They put out exactly what they want you to see, and you have no real possibility to influence it in any way. Ads, flyers or banners, they are there and there's nothing really you can do about it. Whereas in content marketing, it's more of a dialogue between the company that is marketing and the customer. That's because it's done through, for instance, social media. All platforms have comment sections. That means if you put out something that people are not happy with, you will get a reaction. This happened just a few days ago or a couple of weeks ago, where the chef Mikael Björklund in Finland, who's normally seen as this really nice guy, he put out some personal opinions on how to raise kids, and he was perhaps advocating for stricter rules. This did not sit well with everyone, so he got a lot of reactions, and eventually he had to edit his post and say, like, sorry if I offended anyone, and so on and so on. So it means that in content marketing nowadays, companies cannot set the rules and not be challenged, because anyone, you and me as well, there's a comment section where we can write what we want. Obviously, they could delete the comment section, but that's not going to end well, because people have seen it, and they might end up having a lot of criticism for that. Traditional marketing is generalized. It's made for mass consumption, because if you put put something in a newspaper or on TV, you're not really sure who's watching it. Obviously, you could choose a certain kind of newspaper, you could choose a certain kind of TV program when you advertise, but still, it's going to hit the masses. It's going to hit everyone who's there. So it's very broad. And we could say it's made for mass consumption. Whereas content marketing, since your content is about something specific, it also makes targeting your audience more important. Because the more narrow your topic, it's more crucial that you find the right audience for it. So that's what this picture is about to illustrate, that you're not actually trying even to find everyone. Because content marketing is fairly cheap to do. It takes a lot of time, but you can work out how to find the right people by choosing, for instance, the subject of your content. If we look at outlets for traditional marketing, it used to be TV, radio, newspapers, magazine, direct mail, and so on. But I have bolded these two, because here it says banner ads and social media. That means that, as I said in the beginning, this distinction is not whether it's digital advertising or if it's on paper or in old media, old or new media. It's the way the ad itself is made up of. So in banner ads, they are on the internet, they are digital. But if it just says, buy this for this price, it's still a piece of traditional marketing. Same thing with social media. I mean, on Facebook, you see a lot of ads that are also just mentioning what they want to sell to you and what they want you to pay for it. On the contrary, we could look at, for instance, a YouTube channel. If someone has a YouTube channel that's very popular, then people go there and follow it. So you have YouTubes. It's the same thing with podcasts, webinars, for instance, where you are giving away information, and perhaps blog posts where you can be very engaging, entertaining, funny, perhaps. Website articles and email newsletters. These are also outlets that are more suitable for content marketing. So, and with traditional marketing, this is also a big difference, because normally they are stationary. If you see a TV ad that you think was fantastic, you can't really share it to anyone else. You can tell people the next day, did you see this ad on TV yesterday? but you can't automatically in any way share it with people. And normally, perhaps you don't want to share it. As we said, like normally a TV ad, a radio ad, a newspaper ad, it could be something that is more of a disturbance to you. Why would you put that on to friends of yours? You wouldn't, because there is no content in it that is useful, except perhaps for the person who is looking for that exact product. Whereas with content marketing, it's normally shareable, and you can share it since it's digital. But even more important is that people want to share it. If you see a YouTube video that is funny or interesting, you might share it to your friends on social media platform because you either stand for the same things that the video tells, or you just want other people to have the possibility of being amused or perhaps informed the same way that you do. So these are our two differences. We also have some differences from the company's point of view. If you are a marketer and you choose, should I use traditional marketing, which in itself is not bad. This doesn't mean that traditional marketing is old and no, we should not do that anymore. Sometimes traditional marketing can be much more useful. For instance, if you have a local store in a town and you put an ad in the paper and you sell something at a special price and your store is full the next day, that can happen. It could be much more efficient than, for instance, trying to create stories, trying to create funny material. So it's really up to the product, it's really up to what you sell, where you are, what your audience is, and so on. But this is for you to decide after you have understood the difference between these two. With traditional marketing, you have a clearer ROI. That means return on investment. The example just now before, you place an ad. You know how much the ad costs. You can see afterwards, did my sales go up enough to justify the cost for the ad? Also, traditional marketing, it demands less creativity because normally you have the ad or you have the product, perhaps a picture of the product, you have a price, you might have a slogan, which in itself perhaps needs some creativity, but it's less creativity. This is suitable for a product that doesn't have a story. Some products are easier. For instance, if you sell trips, like journeys, tourism, or something, then it's easier to create a story around this compared to if you sell toothbrushes. Or it could be if you're very clever, if you're very creative, yes, you can also create a story and make a brand out of toothbrushes, but it's harder. Traditional marketing suits a larger company that has a bigger marketing budget because it takes a lot of money. You cannot get an ad in a newspaper for 10 euros. You can get an ad on Facebook for 10 euros. So you need to have a larger budget. If we look then at content marketing, that is cheaper, but it could even be free in a sense that you don't need to pay for making updates or content on social media. But of course, there's a price which is your time, and it's very time consuming, especially if you want to come up with something good. Very few people are born advertisers and content creators, so it means you have to sit down and plan and think a lot, and also to actually make the content. If it's film, then you have to have all the equipment, you have to take care of quality of film, and you have to do editing, and this takes hours and hours and hours to make a short clip. So what you're paying with is your own time. This one has a vague ROI. It's a vague return on investment. That means that when you have invested all this time, you have made lots of content where you're trying to entertain or inform your customers. But it's very hard to tell whether this has led to any sales. Because most of the people that take part of your content will just watch your content and That's it. They will not buy anything from you because your content has a value in itself. So this is actually a con with content marketing, that it's very hard to know whether it's valuable or not. It demands a lot of creativity. If you're not good at it, then it could be a better idea to stick to traditional marketing. It suits a small company with a small marketing budget because you can start out very cheaply. For instance, on Facebook, you can start making ads for, I think the minimum sum is it €1 perhaps, or €3. And it means you can try out different ways of marketing. You can try to make some content and try to perhaps have it for free, try to boost it to pay a little bit money. And then you can make an alternative version of the same thing and boost it somewhere else and see which one has the better result, because you can follow results in real time, and then you can add more money to the one that you feel is doing better. So this is a great strength for small entrepreneurs and small companies. You get quite far. You get a start with €5 and you get quite far with €100. Whereas if you put ads in newspapers, then it's a minimum amount of a few €100, not to talk about radio and especially not to talk about TV ads. So in conclusion, I would like you to go to your own Facebook feed, or perhaps Instagram, or maybe Twitter, YouTube, and take a look at the posts you find there and see if they are from a company. Take a look at them and think, is this content marketing or is it traditional marketing? Are they trying to show off a product, a price, and trying to sell it to me? Or is this a company or somebody who is trying to become friends with me, attract me into following them, but they are down the line selling something? So in the long run, it is kind of a marketing campaign that they are trying to lure me into and eventually make me a customer.